if you follow me, Lawman, the real one holding the compass with the black skin that you can barely see here.
Yep.
I'll show you the Imperial Guard. He's over
Oh my god.
here,
They
but
made
he
a
isn't walking
droid.
around. He isn't walking around for some reason, but there, they punch him in the face, and now maybe he'll walk around. But normally, he just sort of like patrols this hallway type area, and any mobs that come around on the outside, they will just like, he'll kill him, basically. He'll just like walk up to him and kill him because he has full iron armor because he's the boss.
That's awesome. He just asked me if I broke the law. If you've broken the
Yeah,
law.
we have that set so that he'll ask people if you get within his range, if they've broken the law.
I
And we
can't
have
break
like
the law.
various
I am
ones.
the law.
Yeah, like
This
if
guy's
we have
awesome.
we have the NPC in the bar. If you come over to the bar, which is on like the other side, it's over where you see the bartender tag. And if you go over there, there's a bartender NPC and an Andy NPC. Oh, they have Sarah. Sarah looks like a transformer.
Whoa, what's up with Sarah's skin?
He looks
Yep.
like a transformer.
It's pretty crazy looking. We need to do a new skin.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cow's helping with the Pavo skin, which is awesome. We're gonna do like a whole, basically, transition of him from a younger to an older age. So we'll have a bunch of different types of skins. And we should do the same thing for Sarah.
Yeah, like in here you see this guy named Andy in the bar where I am. There's a bartender and there's the guy named Andy, and the bartender will like occasionally say like, Andy, will you get out, will you? And Andy's just like really just like drunkard, and so if you get near him, he says like really drunken type sayings.
I was
sayings
actually
that you would hear,
here
like, an
when they
alcoholic
first
saying.
started those. We named him Andy after Andy Dick.
Yeah.
When Banana was trying to come up with names.
We just made a lawman NPC.
Nice.
Or like chaos. And then we have Horace over here in the pet shop, and he asks if you're here looking for a bunny.
And Horus is apparently a real player with a really like weird skin.
That is.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
the default Minecraft guy, but with no like noise. And this is
no
into the
texture
secret
to it.
dungeon
Except they
of power.
forgot the top of the head. Yeah, black market. Woot woot.
That's awesome, guys. Great job. Did anybody figure out how to do the questing thing yet?
Oh yeah, I
It's
made a
sort
bunch of
of
NPCs
broke.
with quests. But the quest like files need to be changed so that the quest rewards are gold. Because right now they give out monies, because no one really uses the economy plugin, and it's not actually compatible with citizens anyway.
There's
So-
gotta be one version that is compatible. I think it's turned off right now. I was looking at it earlier.
Yeah. I think it would be better. I think people are just better off with using gold as the currency because that's what we've always been doing. So you can just make it so that the quests give out gold bars as rewards.
Okay. Got it.
I just saw a lawman in the bar.
I saw that. He's like, what the hell? I'm everywhere.
We just need to like scatter a bunch of like if you compass to the top of a if you compass to the top of the watchtower, then you can chill out with Simon and Lewis from the Outcast. I screencapped it. I'm gonna post it somewhere on the internet. And just feel like hanging out.
We're gonna do a video right now.
Yeah, we're chilling. way to set up so that no droids can destroy tripping mess.
This is just what I want you guys to do. Make up a bunch of fun stuff to do.
We're just having way too much fun. So yeah,
No
we
such
put
thing.
Honeydew, and we put Simon, and he says that he's a dwarf and he's digging a hole. And I had to put Lewis just because it would have felt lonely up here if Simon didn't have any company.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Maybe
we have
get
other
him to come on the server if we got him on here.
we have a lot of other just like NPCs that don't talk. Like over in this ship, there's this Chantry sailor guy, and we just have lots of cosmetic NPCs that don't really talk. That don't talk, and so because they don't talk, they don't they don't do anything.
What we needed to do is make like the Legion army, like actually make rows of a bunch of people and make it look like an army.
Oh yeah, there's this. If you teleport to the square, there's this champion. There's this guy. His name is Derp, and his skin is Colonel Sanders. It's so awesome.
Where? What warp
He's
is that?
just got like in the square. Yeah, he's basically is this guy. His name is Derp, and his skin just so happens to be Colonel Sanders. It's freaking awesome. Yeah,
In the square.
Yeah, it's at the foot of the watchtower, and down this at the foot of the watchtower down the stairs is like
Here.
Square. Yeah, right where Blobber says. Stop spamming that, it's causing lag. Yeah, but yeah, it's Colonel Sanders. I'm Colonel Sanders, Minecraft. Yeah.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Such a name snipe though. That's such an incredible name snipe.
I know, right? How the hell did they get that one?
We searched epic_fail, and so that didn't happen to be used.
So have we put Notch in yet, or some form of Notch?
Oh yeah, we've added Notch.
Where's he at?
I think this NPC has changed like 400 times. This NPC right here has changed names like 400 times. So
we should put everybody that's on that list on the forum, all the top people that have the most visited or the most posts. You know what I'm
the top like 15 of that list, and put NPCs of them in like someplace.
Bingo.
And then when they get moved on the forum, we can move them, so we can have like number 1 most active to number 15 most active or something like that.
Yeah, and we can have a spot, and they can just say whatever they, we can pre-program them to say a couple things. I want to put Rex Storm, and I want to put Frankly Sinatra on here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna see if I could make Notch's wife.
Oh yeah.
Or I think easy is all lowercase. I think it's just easy. Yeah, there we go. That's Notch's wife. Now we need to make Notch right next to him.
Yeah,
exactly. Right next to her. I had to.
I don't even know who Easy is until I didn't even know Notch was getting married till he got married. So I didn't know who Easy was or anything.
Yeah, Notch.
She was just the only girl that was ever around when he was filming.
Yeah, when Notch was when they had just started programming Notch, the only block that was in the game was stone, and he actually went up to Easy and was like, "Hey, can you try out this game and see and she basically was the first beta tester for Minecraft, and she was basically the only girl.
So he married her because she's the only chick on the internet?
Yeah, until there was Minecraft chick. And now we have...
Yeah, until Minecraft chick, she was the only chick on the internet, so... Yeah, basically, that's it. They made Junk Boy... For some reason, we can't find Junk Boy's actual thing. Hold on.
I could ask him on...
C418.
I follow him on
He's a
Twitter.
no block. There's C418. Better.
Whoa.
I love C418. He's amazing. I
Oh,
have
he
the
actually
entire
has the
Minecraft
cloak.
album. Yeah, he does. I have the entire Minecraft album, by the way.
Put Minecraft chick in here. See if she has anything.
I tried to, but I couldn't come up with with the right name.
Oh, really?
I tried capital M Minecraft chick, but it
She's
didn't work
supposed to
for
be
some
getting
reason.
like a cape added to her too or something.
Why is the Imperial Guard standing in like a puddle of water?
He peed himself.
No, I mean there's
It
like
didn't work.
a big thing of water flowing down off the lighthouse.
What? Somebody put water or something broke and made the water come out? Oh, that's weird.
There. So now we have, in the square, we have Notch, Easy, Slyfox, and C418, or we had Slyfox until Chaos removed him. And up on the top of the tower, we have Simon and Lewis from the Outcast.
Awesome.
We're just, no, why? Why you remove Easy? He's removing all the NPCs. Oh, he just changed someone's name to Carl. Carl! Who the hell's Carl?
I actually gotta get off for tonight, so see you guys.
Alright, Bob. Thanks.
User
Check out the video later.
disconnected from your channel.
So yeah. Going down. Yeah. That's what we're doing. Dicking around with the NPC plugin. I'm all back, KO. I'm all back. Put every single NPC. Recall every Minecraft player you've ever known and make an NPC of them in the square. Right now. Do it.
No.
An NPC of every Minecraft player in history. Do it. Right now.
They're colliding our streets. It's a busy place. Come on.
Yeah, it's a busy place. You got all the stars in Arrow, Sarah. Everybody's here.
It's like Minecraft Hollywood up in this biatch.
Yeah. I tried to make a class for Paladin. It didn't work.
What do you mean?
I wanted to, like, I sent you a PM telling you about what me and Blobberus were thinking of doing for, like, the Templar.
Yep.
And we wanted to change the Templar so that it was more of a warrior class. Basically, it was like warrior, but it had prey at a low level. So it was sort of, it was sort of disciple-y, but not really. It was more or less just a basic warrior. And then it would have a daughter class, and that daughter class would be Paladin. And the Paladin would have, like, lay on hands and revive and smite and all those disciples type holy spells. And then it would, and so that would just be it. That would be, where you could go with it. So that way you could have the, so that way there'd be a distinction, you know, so that instead of the Templar just being like, oh, hey, just Templar, we could then, upgrade the Templar, since Templar is a low tier class for the disciples. And we were just thinking upgrade the Templar once you get to level 50 to become a paladin, so that they become more of like a tank healer hybrid and have like sustainability and stuff. If you were going to go on like an RP raid type thing, he'd be much more worth it to bring along type thing, you know.
Yeah. Well, um, I have a couple thoughts as far as how we're actually going to do the classes. I don't think we're going to do this whole parent child class thing. It's just not really how we need to do it. And I understand a lot of role playing games do it that way. And I understand that you and probably Blubberous and a couple of people might want to do it that way. Um, I'm thinking of it as a completely different way. And I'm really going back and forth on exactly how I want to do it. But I really, really don't want to do this parent thing because I think it's too complicated and I don't really like that way of doing it. I never liked the way of doing that. Um, Obviously, it's kind of like a path where you start off, and that's why it's called paths, and you go down the paths. But I think that we have enough classes and enough organization between the guilds and the whole idea that we're going to do in this story that we don't want to break it down so you can't be a certain class. Uh, I want you to be able to earn any class. If you want to do a high ranking class, then that's fine. It's just going to be really hard to get that class. And I think most people are going to start off and do the easier classes so they can have a character that will actually have all the supplies and items and a house and all the things that they need. Then they'll go through and do the more complicated class. And obviously, if they're having to do with guilds, we can control that like we did in the past also.
Hmm.
But it gets kind of crazy because when we make people have to sort of be in charge of certain projects or certain things, then they can't necessarily do all the things they want to do, and then it offends somebody else because they can't get the title or the class or get approved to do whatever it is they want to do because they need an admin to tell them to do it. And I want part of that where we have the admins and everybody controlling stuff, but I also want a whole bunch of freedom. So in my head right now, I'm
Yeah.
struggling with how do we give all those people the freedom, but also still keep it along with the story. And that's why I said originally we're going to have kind of two different ways of playing, just to make it simple. I mean, there will be a bunch of different ways, but the one will be you developing your character however you want to do it with your own ideas and your own stuff. And the other one will be sort of along with the existing stuff that's already there that actually has a story. So that's where Pavo and all the guilds and all those things that we already have right now will come into play. And the problem is you guys are creating things as we go, so then it's really difficult to sort of make everything mesh together. Uh, and then constantly explain that story. It's like we're creating more information that people are willing to break down and explain. So you join the server and it just keeps creating this never-ending amount of story, and people are like, I don't know where to start. What am I supposed to do? And that's really confusing and almost like too much for people to handle. And I want you to be
Yeah.
able to come on the server and pick a path and sort of develop that character and maybe create your own guild and do all that and not feel like it has to be part of the story or you have to do anything that we're telling you to do. And those will be kind of the two ways of playing. And I think the way we organize it is going to make all the difference. So all these classes are going to be balanced and have their own sets of skills like we're talking about, and everybody will help us develop those so that they're fair. But it's still going to be an impossible task to make them all different with the limited amount of skills that we have and the limited amount of stuff that we have. So what's going to happen is a lot of the classes are going to be similar to each other. It's like we'll have these priest classes that are healers, and they'll kind of almost represent a good side. But then we're going to have people that want to have healers and almost the evil side. And then we'll get a crossover where it's a hybrid, like a warrior and a healer, like we're talking about. And it just gets so crazy with all these different types of classes and paths and people wanting to add them. Uh, it's just going to be out of control real fast. So that's why I want to have the wiki that breaks it all down. So as we keep adding new classes and new ideas, the wiki will explain to people what's going on. And I try to do it on a forum update everybody and say, hey guys, this is what's happening. We're going to be doing this new class, this new idea, and it goes along with this guild. But I mean, you guys are developing all the stuff at the same time I'm developing it, and it's just a lot for people to understand. So normally the way that it would work is you wouldn't release anything till the public till you got it all figured out exactly perfect. And it's kind of a ongoing struggle for me to try to explain to everybody and the new players and keep it all organized while we add all this new stuff. And then I still have to write the whole novel out, you know. So I wanted to create a server so everybody could have fun and be playing right now, and that's kind of what we're doing. And like you guys are creating all the NPCs, and that's awesome. So we'll just keep creating all these ideas, but there will be a moment where we gotta really organize it all and turn it into something that I keep talking about. So I want you to help with all of that stuff, and I think that adding the parent classes and all of the different ideas that we have will all be combined at some point. But right now, I want to keep it real simple and just add a class, and you can choose that class. And if it's really complicated class, like you have to get a lot of XP, there's a very high level. I mean, obviously you can do like lower tier classes that only go up to like 25 or 30, and people will want to be those. Or we can make big gaps between each of the classes, so every 10 levels, then you get a really big spell. There's a whole bunch of different ways that we do it, and we got to really think about it before we just start adding more classes. And I kind of threw those classes out there earlier because they're what we have in the wiki, and I tried to match some of them, but I realized as I was doing it that we really need to balance all the skills, and then everybody started having their comments and their ideas on how we can change it. So I'm just trying to like get a hold on exactly how we're supposed to do it and how is it going to be fair and organized and all that.
Yeah, it's like when you release a game, basically. It's like when you release a video game, and for beta test, for like in the beta, like for Minecraft, people have their ideas on like what you should do, and like if you were to release like an like say League of Legends is my best example because there's lots of really buggy, overpowered champions in League of Legends. Um, they'll release a champion, but then they'll have to patch it in a week or so because they'll realize because the community will say, "Hey, this is what's wrong with this champion. There's like it's like this is why they're overpowered, underpowered. This is why they're just fine and perfectly balanced." And it's that community creator ratio. It's that community creator. Um,
Phenomenon. Yeah, I know what you're
yeah,
talking about.
it's that little that whole the creator community
Interaction.
interaction. Yeah, interaction that makes it so that as like players we can keep things being we can keep the game balanced and make things happen the way we want them to. And
Yep, and that's what I'm
so
trying to do. I'm
it's
trying to make it
it's
all.
gonna yeah it's gonna take time. But what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to map out like basic classes that we can do for each guild. Like we have the mage and the necromancer. Those are good classes. We have priest and templar and enforcers and warriors and dwarves and stuff like that. We've got basic classes for all, and then like we've got rogues and whatnot. We have basic classes for all of the guild, which is an excellent start. Now we can come up with the more defined classes, or with the more defined path for each guild, so that way we can organize them, and then we can organize them, get what skills that we're going to have. Now we're just sort of now getting familiar with the plugin because I mean we just got the plugin recently, so not all of us are going to know what we're going to do. But now that most of us have used most of the skills, so like I can use a bunch of skills, and like I can look at all the paths and like level myself to level 50 in like every path and try out all the skills and find out like what they do. And so and I can know what they do, and we can map that out and find out whether like what we should do in terms of what paths should have what skills, what the cooldowns should be, and things like that. Just because we can experiment with these things, and before it was like we're just throwing stuff out there. But now that we know sort of what we're doing, we can you know We can
Yeah.
we can figure it all out. And I think the best place to start is sort of what I did with the chantry, and I'll do that with I'll work on that with most of the other um, with like a lot of the other guilds, in that basically it will map out the generic class, or like we'll map out what the classes should be, and once we have what the classes are going to be, like do like a nice little flow chart like what I did, and then we can go from there and assign and be like, okay, so basic chantry member, they've just joined the chantry, they shouldn't have like much magic, they're only gonna have a couple things, and they're gonna level, they're only gonna have like 10 as their max level or something, so they don't, so, stuff like that. It's not gonna be like you have to get to level 50 as a chantry member to become an initiate, because that'd be ridiculous. And so we can like be like, hey, this is what we want for like a couple. We're gonna give them a couple skills and do stuff like that, and we can just build progressively from it instead of trying to release everything all at once. And we'll just go from there.
Well, I think right now, I mean, you have an awesome idea on that, and I think we're gonna do basically combine everybody's idea. Um, the whole thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the comments and the thoughts, right, from everybody and try to combine them. But there's got to be 2 or 3 like team leaders for this specific project. So that's why I thought you and Blubberous specifically, and then I was going to try to help lead you guys and figuring this whole thing out. And I'm also going to be leading a couple other guys on some other things. As far as like NPCs and stuff like that. Obviously, not everybody can do everything, but everyone's got good ideas. So the trick is to sort of keep these thoughts and these ideas all communicating back and forth. So that's why the forum is so awesome. So what we'll do is we'll post something on the forum, and it'll be an update of sort of our collective ideas. And I think the best way to approach it is to find all the variables or all the different type of skills that we have, almost line them all up, and then pick each one and divvy it up in between all the different types of paths we want.
Yeah, I think an excellent place to start with that would certainly be the chantry, where the chantry is split up so distinctively in what their abilities should be. Like one of them has fire magic, one of them has like healing magic. Like it's like one of them has fire magic, one of them has water magic, one of them, they all have their own like organi. It's very straightforward, as this is the kind of magic that this class uses.
Yep,
and
it's
so
like an
that
element,
would be
right? You can break it down like that.
You can break it down very easily. So it's like this is a hemomancer. They're like blood mage, so they're gonna have lots of like drain type spells.
Bleed
and like
all those stuff.
they're gonna have like the bleed and drain soul spells. Necromancer, they're gonna have like the summon and unholy ritual spells and stuff like that. Um, fire mage, they're gonna have fireball, fire shield, things like that. And so they're it's like simple way to organize it, and it's not. And so I think that'd be an excellent place to start, because it's broken down so so clearly into what they should have as far as skills.
Yeah, I think we need to think of it like, okay, say there's 25 spells or whatever skills. Those go to each guild, so all the guilds are equally as strong